Greetings. I'm Marjanita Ripley here in Atlanta, Georgia, United States of America. I want to thank Dr. Ada Okika and Ruth Sisters Fellowship for an amazing event. Thank you for extending this invitation. I commend you, Dr. Ada and Ruth Sisters, for all the work you're doing to impact lives of women as well as men worldwide. So let's unite. The United Nations has called for 16 days of activism of the elimination of gender-based violence against women and girls. The Declaration of the Elimination of Violence Against Women and Girls defines violence against women as any act of gender-based violence that results in physical, sexual, or psychological harm, suffering to women and girls. Violence against women violates women's human rights and freedoms. During COVID-19 pandemic, reports of violence against women and girls increased worldwide. Whenever and wherever a crisis hits, violence against women and girls increases. Gender-based violence knows no economic, no social, or ethnic background boundaries. Just how serious is gender-based violence? Gender-based violence is a global pandemic that affects 1 in 3 women in their lifetime. Worldwide, 35% of women have experienced physical and or sexual intimate partner violence or non-partner sexual violence. 7% of women have sexually assaulted by someone other than a partner. Globally, 38% of murders of women are committed by an intimate partner. 200 million women have experienced genital mutilation or cutting. Studies show that children who grow up in violence are more likely to become survivors or themselves become perpetrators of violence in the future. So, what are some ways that we can prevent and help end gender-based violence? We must educate people, both women and men. We must recognize that women's rights are human rights. Having respect one to another is a human right. We must scale up prevention efforts that address unequal gender power relations as a root cause of gender-based violence. Bring gender-based violence to clinical services, in facilities, in the community where people can attend and be supported. Address the needs of children as survivors, including interventions to disrupt the gender-based violence cycle. Have programs to train professionals to work with children who may have experienced traumatic events in their lives. Develop guidance for building systems to eliminate gender-based violence in health care centers, in shelters, training counselors, and also their staff. An example would be here in Atlanta, Georgia area, we support and partner with the African Children's Fund. It's a nonprofit organization that helps survivors of gender-based violence. This particular mother experienced gender-based violence, and she went to the African Children's Fund organization to get help. Did they help her? Yes, indeed. They found her a job, they provided housing for her and other support, and helped her children. They both received counseling on an ongoing basis. So their lives were changed immensely. And now that mother is helping other women who have experienced gender-based violence. What an awesome testimony. So we also can help this crisis by holding governments and humanitarian agencies accountable for commitments of gender-based violence. We can speak out and call on our politicians and also those decision makers to help and bring attention to this issue. We must become involved in our communities to support in various ways. We can also empower women with various skills and help them to be successful. We can be encouraged by spiritual support, a prayer, and positive affirmations. Here are just a few. As women, you have been fearfully and wonderfully made. You have purpose and significance. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. You are the crown of God's creation. And as women, know that you're loved, you've been forgiven, and you are supported. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a great civil rights activist, born here in Atlanta, Georgia. He said, we must learn to live together as brothers and sisters or perish as fools. Dr. King also said, let no man pull you so low as to hate him. And our former First Lady, Miss Michelle Obama, said, when they go low, we go high. So let's love one another and put an end to gender-based violence. Thank you.